welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. It's been a bit of a long hiatus, but we're back now and making videos again. So today's video is going to be about ducks, a nice simple one to start us off with. We've recently got some ducks and we've had them free roaming in the woodland garden. This video is going to be just a really quick pros and cons of how that process has worked for us here in this garden. So you'll notice we've got two different breeds. The three grey ones are Indian runner ducks, and the others a mixed breed. But from their markings, I think they've definitely got some Shetland in them. And they're actually not bad flyers. Primarily we have them for their eggs and for pest control. First thing I will say is these ducks aren't tame. As you can see, they are not very interested in humans other than for food and water, which brings us on to our first consideration. They need lots of water. We fill all this up twice a day, not the paddling pool. That gets filled up once or twice a week. If you come down here into their pen, these get filled up 2 or 3 times a day. And as soon as you fill them up, they muddy them up. Water's not just for them to drink, but they need to clear their nostrils. And they also, when they're eaten, they can be quite liable to choking if they don't have access to water. Ours are a mixture of pellet fed, and they get the odd scraps. You know, things like leftover porridge and fruits and vegetables, which they're not always that interested in. They love mealworms, that's probably their favourite. And of course they spend the whole day foraging the garden. And their second favourite is when you're in the garden doing things like this. We've been harvesting our potatoes. They will appear as soon as you're gone. They're in and about it. And I've noticed a massive decrease in pests this year. They've really been doing a good job for slugs. The only thing they haven't done a good job on is the cabbage white caterpillars. They're not interested in them at all. I'm assuming there's something toxic to them or something they don't want to eat in high quantities, and that's why they tend to avoid them. So this is what they have pretty much free access to. After I feed them, I just leave the gate open. Some major weeding needs to happen here, eh? And then it goes down to this bit of the stream. There's kind of a little bit of a pool in there. We come down here as well and have a bit of a swim and a forage. So really we're just going to look at a couple of pros and cons. I mean, generally they haven't really done much damage. You know, if this was chickens, we'd know about it. There's the beetroot, which they took a liking to. It looks like we've been harvesting that for salad. And then there's the cabbage white caterpillars over here, and they're not really fussed. Even if you pick the caterpillars off, they don't want to eat them. And there's been a few other casualties. The main one being my landrace bare barley. And this is what's left of it. So they soon realise that if you sit onto the stems, you can just eat all the grain off it. As you can see here. But again, given they've had complete free run, the damage isn't too bad. They're not as interested in the other grains, you know, like the amaranth here. They're not really But then again, it hasn't set its seed yet, so time will tell on that one. The only other damage that I'll show you is what they've done in the wildflower bits, which is essentially just flatten them, which isn't too bad. But it's obviously going to mean there's a lot of thatch and a lot of reseeding isn't going to happen in there. So it is something to consider. So I'll show you the wildflower damage as well, and a few other bits. My partner's medicinal herb bed, they've decided to sit all over the yarrow as well and flatten that. So again, I would say a minor level of destruction, which isn't too bad really. Like I say, chickens would know about it. So yeah, that's the kind of things that they like to damage if you do let them free run. So really for us, it just means we're going to have to fence off a few bits. And I'll probably, you know, now I know that they love beetroot, I'll probably grow an extra crop so we can give them the leaves. So one thing I will say is they're quite destructive to pots. I like to dig in them looking for insects, and look at this poor apple tree here. So that is one thing to bear in mind if you've got lots of potted plants in small pots. So thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments below your experiences with ducks. And of course, if you'd like more duck content, let us know.